So, ladies and gentlemen, here I welcome the panel on stage. I'll start with Mr. Nara Lokesh. I'd like to add a few more words. First of all, he comes from an incredible education background. So, sir, I was very impressed with that. You've been to Carnegie Mellon and, of course, gone ahead and done your master's as well. And extremely deep-rooted value. But more importantly, which really caught my eye, that he's done a 200-day Padayatra. And in that Padayatra, he's gone to 97 constituencies and touched 1.5 crore lives. And in those lives is where he met a lot of women from different stratas of the society who got forth the issues of gender stereotypes. And that has influenced him to go ahead and make reforms, not just in terms of women empowerment, but also in the education system. Something that I read about him, which was very, very interesting, is that even in the education system, जो हमारे books होते थे, उसमें कुछ ऐसे pictures होते थे जहाँ पर there's a lady in the kitchen and the man in the living room. He's gone ahead to change that, is because that's where it starts from. So, sir, thank you so much for doing that. Truly coming from a woman who's working in a male-dominated sport.
Hi, I'm Lokesh. I'm a third-generation politician. So I did my bachelor's at Carnegie Mellon, worked at the World Bank for 2 years, Stanford MBA. Came back to the family business. Not many of you know Mr. Naidu is also a successful entrepreneur. He has a dairy business. It's called Heritage Foods. It's a listed company. Then my wife came back to business. She threw me out. So then came into politics. So she's my sugar mommy. She pays for my credit card bills. And, I think I really appreciate the opening remarks that you made. And, breaking gender stereotypes is something that's very passionate for us as a family. And we believe that, I think empowerment is a very harsh word that we use at home. I believe that the environment should be enabling, where equal opportunities are given. And I had the opportunity again to be the education minister. In the past life, I was Panchayat Raj and Rural Development. As education minister, I said, this is my chance and let's do it right. And yes, first grade and second grade textbooks, household chores, the pictures are all women who do it. And I said, that's the first place we need to start. It should be 50-50. Obviously, there's a lot of hue and cry, but I said, that's what Brahmani and I did. Because we got married young, we went to the US, and we did household work, 50-50. We had no issues with it. So I said, it should start from textbooks, and I've been working with the government and the movie industry to break those stereotypes. To the amazing ladies from the Telugu heartland, I think you'll appreciate that there are some words that we unfortunately use in Telugu language. Are you wearing bangles? Are you, chira kattuneva? Are you wearing a sari? Or don't cry like a girl. These are things which are used widely, and this is what I want to put a full stop to. And that's something that I'm very vocal about. I'm talking about it everywhere I go. I need greater support, and I'm here to just learn from all of you, because you've come to achieve so much, and honestly, we are all inspired. I'm awestruck. It's very unfair that I'm sitting here, I should be sitting there, and you should be on the dais. Because what you've come to achieve is simply amazing against all odds. You're here with the amazing leadership that's there. Really make India proud, and we are all with you.
So before I open this space for the women here to sort of contribute as to what is happening in women cricket already and how are the kind of reforms that they're looking forward to, from you, I'd first like to understand the contributions that Andhra Pradesh has already made towards sport. And first of all, what do you make of the disparity between men and women in cricket and the recent reforms that have been gotten by BCCI and, for that matter, even ICC? What do you make of that?
No, as a state, we believe in the grassroots movement, right? And that's where, as education minister, I have a role to play. That's where we did this entire, almost a month-long program. And this is about 10 sports. We're looking at what are the opportunities to sort of pick up youngsters and give them a platform to excel. And if you look at the leadership of our chief minister, historically he supported sports. You look at it way back in 2000, the sports village that Hyderabad has today is all the work that's happened then. The Afro-Asian Games came back then. He had a dream that Olympics should come to India way back in 2000. 25 years later, we had to get there. But I think this is just the beginning. And we want to back this up with building world-class infrastructure. Specifically in cricket, I will lean on the ACA to do their bit because they have a little bit more money. And then, under the leadership here, there's a lot more that we can achieve, and specifically on cricket. In terms of gender disparity, I mean, it's not just in sports. Whether we accept it or not, it's happening across board. It happens even in politics. And the question is that if true change has to happen, I believe that it has to start with education. And it हमारे घर में शुरू हो रहा है change. So I keep telling, whenever I go to any college events or school events, I keep telling them that, you go home, you talk about it. You should question. And if anyone says anything, tell that Lokesh is there. So I'm saying, you should talk about it. Because respecting women starts at home. And that's when I believe that we can truly transform. If you look at, we as a political establishment have internships that we do every year. And one internship we did all women. And my question was, let's talk about women's safety and how other states have sort of structured. And it's amazing to see that Northeast is far lower than any other states. That's because the way that they've structured their property rights and the way it all flows comes down. So I think we have a lot to learn in that sense. In terms of cricket, all of you are experts here. I'm no way an expert. But I believe that steps have been taken in the right direction. It could be BCCI or even ICC. I think a lot of efforts are being taken to support. Definitely new leagues will help, identify talent, promote. But then I think all of us have to come out and cheer in big numbers in support of the team and to be with them and really see this entire exercise through. And end of the day, they're all icons sitting here and we have to celebrate.
Lokesh, sir, in the stories that you've just heard, what are your takeaways from it as someone who can bring about changes in the policy?
I mean, it's really inspiring. I think each one of you come with very different background. And as a policymaker, it's very humbling that, there are things that are going right and definitely there are areas to improve. Your captain just shared with me that, in your books you should have any sporting pictures, women. And then, it will really get people to think. I think when girls are looking at it, they'll start dreaming that, yes, I have a chance. It took her almost 2 years to convince her father. I mean, that's a bigger fight than actually playing for India. But it's really inspiring that a lot of effort has gone in different ways and they've been supported by their family in different ways. So as a policymaker, this is exactly what I'm looking forward to, is trying to figure out what are those changes that we can do to break that stereotypes further. And see, for you and me, we're more urban. But then if you still go back to the rural, these unfortunately still continue. And then how do you sort of remove these deep-rooted stereotypes is what I'm struggling with. I believe it starts with cinemas. They play a very important role. So I did talk about it with the Chief Minister, with the Deputy Chief Minister, that we should actually figure out a mechanism for it. Of course, education is my role. It's not easier because I can do it. But I need support from all of you. I think I'm looking forward to guidance. An amazing idea for the captain game. It's stuck in my head. This is one thing I need to do. These are little ideas that I think you can bring about change. And all of you, please look at yourselves as change makers of society. And it takes, all of you together, hand in hand, to bring about that change. So, I see that at home. I see that with my mother, who used to run the business till Brahmani came in, my wife. And I see the way Brahmani is now balancing. We have a child. We have an only child. He's 10 years old. So she actually does all the heavy lifting because an absentee father. But, if you have to achieve great things, you have to sacrifice. And it's important that, all of us here celebrate success. And that's what we discuss, apart from blackmailing parents. But definitely celebrate success. I think that's the responsibility of politicians. I think Mithali just shared, that's how the Chief Minister did it. A lot of the sportsperson today also shared during the National Sports Day event, that how the Chief Minister celebrated it. So I think it's had an impact. And what I would look forward to hearing from you is, how do we continue this? I think apart from celebrating a victory, how do you sort of continue this, make it part of a culture, make it part of a rhythm, make it part of our fundamental fabric? Then I think it'll really inspire a generation of youngsters now to come to sports. And more than even youngsters and girls coming in, I think parents willing to. So that's where I believe that change should happen, and that's what I look forward to hearing from all of you. Even after the session, any crazy idea, we are here to implement. As a state, we're all open to hear from you. And we look forward to, sort of taking these ideas and getting the rubber to meet the road, if I can say.
But Harman, I'd like to get your point here is because you're in the thick of things. You're in the middle of it. You've been there when you were playing, and now you've got the youngsters coming in like Kranti and Shri. How different is their attitude as compared to when you came in? And how different are their challenges as compared to when you came in?
Well, I think they are totally different. I mean, when I came in the team, that time we were struggling with a lot of other things like providing grounds or facilities or more number of games. But right now, for God's grace, BCCI is doing such a good thing for us, and I think they all have all the experience watching us on the TV. Knowing when I played my first ODI World Cup, I didn't even know like other teams like Australia, England. I didn't even know like how they play, what they do. So when I was there, I was continuously asking Julandi and Anjumdi like what they do, how fast they ball, so what I have to do. So I think that time we preparation was nothing, but still we were aiming to win World Cup or preparing ourselves in that way. We want to bring the change for our country. But right now I think for these girls everything is available and their mindset is totally different. So playing with them is more easier than playing back.
Oh, lovely.
You asked for some random idea. I think I walked into Visakhapatnam Stadium. All the stands are named after men. So when Julandi got her first stand named...
That's wonderful.
So when Julandi got her stand named in Eden Garden, I mean, genuinely watching the whole video made me feel very emotional that that iconic stadium of Eden Garden is going to have a women cricketer on it. And yeah, I mean, any stadium I walk into, there are, I mean, 10 on 10 are mostly men. And I feel we have a lot of legendary ex-women cricketers who deserve to have a stand named on them. So I would just, I mean, as you said, you can start and a lot of other state associations will follow.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Let's give that a huge round of applause.